Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel The United Road, and today we'll be discussing Man United transfer window and how it's going so far. And obviously I won't be alone tonight as I will be joined by first of all Lokmanyu, who is a star FIFA player and representing India on the top level. So hi Lokmanyu.
Hi Anshuman, thank you so much for having me. I think it's a pleasure, bro, to be here on your channel, and I hope you can reach 5K subscribers in the next 10 days. Let's try that.
Thanks a lot, Lokmanyu. And before we move on to our next guest, he needs just no more description about him. He is well known throughout the Twitter community and he is making a name for himself on YouTube as well. Neil Bhai from Netflix Football, welcome to the channel.
Thank you so much, Dada. It's so good to actually have you on this platform. We have done so many collabs together on my channel, and it's a very honorable and pleasurable moment to actually feature on your channel. You best wishes. Welcome to the creators community of YouTube, and as they said, sky is the limit. Let's feature all together more
Definitely.
Let's build this community.
Thanks a lot, Neil Bhai.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Anshuman.
Pleasure, Dada.
Pleasure to be here, bro.
Today's topic, obviously, United have signed Varane, United have signed Sancho. Which signing is most exciting? I will be starting with Lokmanyu.
Of course, Sancho. I think we wanted Sancho since a long time, and we have seen over the past years how we have struggled in that particular position of having an actual right winger, you can say. Not just right winger, any winger actually. We've seen Rashford getting injured so many times, and there was no actual backup in terms of playing on the wings for us. So I think Sancho would be would be the biggest signing, and even Greenwood is actually a striker. If you look at him, he wants to be a striker. He can learn so much from Cavani, but he had to play on the wings because we didn't have anyone yet. So now that we do have Sancho, I think that is going to be the biggest reinforcement in terms of attack for us.
Okay, so according to you, Neil, Sancho or Varane? Lokmanyu already said it's Sancho for him.
It is Sancho. It would have been Sancho for me, but we pulled a rabbit out of the hat when we signed Varane, didn't we? Like when the rumor came that I had this discussion with you in the Brentford pre-match that we never thought that the Varane deal would actually go through, and signing a world-class defender from Real Madrid who has spent 10 years over there, who was very settled, and who did not even like talk to other clubs, just wanted Manchester United. That speaks volumes of the transfer. For me, the most exciting, I'm very excited. I'm a huge Jadon Sancho fan, and very like Lokmanyu, who's a FIFA player. I'm a bit part of a FIFA player as well. So the 5-star skills are gonna be on display. But Varane is especially the go-to guy, the goat in defenders that we could have absolutely brought in. Terrific signing. So it's Varane for me, definitely.
So as you mentioned, Varane just wanted United. So Lokmanyu, question from you. Is that a big turn on for a United fan that a 4-time Champions League winner just want to come to United? It's like,
Of course.
for United fan.
Of course it is. I mean, if you look at over the past 10 years, like Neil said, that for Varane to be so settled at a club and then to choose United specifically because he could have stayed at Madrid and he could have still won championships, because Madrid, Barca, Atletico, all these teams are right there to win it. But in Premier League, it's very different. It's very difficult to win a Premier League title because of the competition. It is very difficult to win even the FA Cup, for a matter of fact. So if you see Varane leaving a very comfortable position and wanting to come to United, that means that he actually wanted to come to United. And like you say, he's always been a winner. In my opinion, he's always won so many titles at Real Madrid. He wants to do that in the Premier League now. Just like you've seen, I'll give you an example of Thiago Silva, for example. I mean, he's much older to Varane, but if you see, Thiago Silva wanted to win something at Chelsea. When he started off the season, people were laughing and joking that at this age, how will he play? Will he start games? Yes, and we were like, I was also there because I thought, even though Thiago Silva is one of the best defenders of his time, because at PSG and every club that he's played at, he's been phenomenal. But when he came to the Premier League, we didn't think he's going to do anything. But then he won the Champions League with Chelsea, right? So you see how players come to the Premier League to make a statement and to actually win more titles than they already have in their previous club. So Varane choosing us specifically means that we are going for the title this time.
So Neil, big turn on, big excitement, big in terms of everything.
Rafael Varane basically is like, I don't understand people hating on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like, he has so many, just improved this United squad so much. Like, the only discomfort people can have an argument is that selling Lukaku and not getting a replacement. But Anthony Martial, Marcus Rashford, and Mason Greenwood combining over 60 goals. Add to that Bruno Fernandes, Pogba coming in with the goals in the last season. You'll have Sancho this term as well. He has never finished less than third. He finished second last term. So much improvement, beating PSG, beating Man City, all the top clubs he has gone up against. It's a very big turn on. And definitely United needs to go for the title right now. I'd not be happy with the second place finish. I want to go, I want this squad to go, this squad has the capacity to go deep into the Champions League realm. Other than that, if City get Kane and Grealish, they'd be miles still ahead. But you don't know how the Premier League is, right? For traditional Manchester United sides, you started slow. We've got there on the end post Christmas. And I think, like Dada, after a long while, it feels exciting to be a Manchester fan.
Definitely.
Really.
Okay. So going forward, first thing, Sancho and Varane, enough to challenge for the title or just to get into the contention?
Now, I think it is enough to challenge for the title because if you see, United has the best squad on paper after Manchester City in the Premier League now with these two signings.
Definitely.
If you see Manchester City's squad depth, they have every player. They can have their second team play against the first team of, say, Spurs, for example, and still beat them quite comfortably. So every other team in the Premier League, although they have very good squads, United has the second best squad with these two signings. So we have Maguire, who has improved so much in the last during the Euros. Even before that, at the end stage of the Premier League in the last 1 month, he was phenomenal. With Varane coming in with him, just look at the squad. We have AVB, we have Shaw, the best left back in the world at the moment right now. I think there's arguably no doubt about that. He is Roberto Carlos, as we all call him on Twitter every single time. So we have that. If Pogba stays, then we have got Pogba and McTominay, and we have so many options in the midfield. I mean, obviously Bruno is. I'm not even considering him as the DM. He'll obviously be playing up top. We got Rashford, Sancho, Cavani, Greenwood, Martial. I mean, just look at the firepower we have in our team. If I'm missing someone, you can always tell me you missed this player.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
the names you took just shows the firepower in our depth. But as you said,
Exactly.
You mentioned one name, Pogba. I will come to that after I take next view. Nick, title winning or title challenging squad?
We are already a title challenging squad without the likes of Rafael Varane and Jadon Sancho. We finished second. That is a challenging position, isn't it? But I think a title winning squad will be complete if we sign that defensive midfielder. Although I'm a huge fan of Scott McTominay, but we do understand that he is somewhat limited in terms of ability that you compare with Jorginho or maybe an N'Golo Conte, especially someone with the likes of either Ruben Neves, either likes of Wilfred Ndidi, especially my favorite pick. Other than that, Eduardo Camavinga in that role. Although the difference between Scott McTominay and the defensive errors that we have often conceded is because the gap in between the midfield and defense, which would be shored up by the signing of Rafael Varane. You'll see a different Harry. You'll see a beast in Harry Maguire this term. And you can print that. You can print that Harry Maguire is going to be one of the top centre-backs in the Premier League. United definitely, if City do sign Grealish and Kane, on paper, it looks like they are winning the thing. Chelsea links with Haaland, if you pair him up with Timo Werner, it's devastating duo in themselves as well. But United don't look so shabby themselves. Marcus will be coming on in the crux fixtures after his surgery. He'll be all strong and fit. Marcus, Martial, people hate him obviously, but he's still our top scorer when he's played at centre forward. Sancho coming in, Bruno, Pogba, Roberto Carlos, Luke Shaw. Like, I got so much slander from a certain fan base because I did not call Jordi Alba the best left back. Like seriously, I'll not talk about that. But Luke Shaw, Aaron Wan-Bissaka developing his game, talks of Trippier coming in, Diego Dalot having a very good Euros, a very good performance against Belgium. This team is set. If you even see the second team, Dean Henderson or even David De Gea, if he starts in the second team, Lindelof, Bailly, Alex Telles over there, Diego Dalot, like the likes Fred, McTominay, Van de Beek, Greenwood. These are the Dan James, Facundo Pellistiama. I can go on. These are the players who will be playing in our second team. Definitely, the squad depth is there, but title challenging, yes. Title winning, just need Wilfred Ndidi at all costs. Dada. I'm so excited if we get him. This is definitely that would definitely be an Europe conquering squad, not just a title winning squad.
All right, all right. Lot of optimism, definitely. But as you mentioned, CDM, Lokmanyu mentioned Pogba. Before I get into CDM, definitely I would like to take his view on Pogba and yours as well. Pogba, new deal, yes or no?
I think Pogba deserves another chance. There have been so many times where uh, Pogba has proved his worth for the country and has struggled at United. But there are moments where Pogba has created magic for us as well. And I am saying this because even after when I've seen Pogba get into some stuff because of his attitude out of the pitch, we've seen on Instagram with those. I think there was this thing that he did last year when he was dabbing for something that he got a lot of slander for, and I was one of them who said, Ki, why are you dabbing over such a sensitive issue and all these things? And when he on the pitch, he doesn't perform. So you really think that is he worth it? Is he worth the tag? But what I really feel is Pogba has got the skill, Pogba has got the mentality, but he needs to develop one thing, and that is that if the team is not playing well, or if the team is not in a good position, that's one thing he need to learn. And he does that with the French squad because the squad depth and the squad experience is so much that he gets that push whenever France is not performing well. With United, what's the case is that he thinks he's the one, and if the team is not performing, he also lets himself go, and he's like, I don't care. That's what I feel personally for Pogba.
Okay,
But with
so
this squad depth, I think he can just a bit of
pressure
the
off his shoulder.
pressure up on his shoulder and some right mentality, because he's in that age. He's, I think, 28,
Yeah.
27, 28, Pogba.
Yes.
So yes, so I think Pogba needs to take that charge now, because he's not that 23, 24-year-old kid who's like, even Rashford is more mature than him in terms of mentality.
Exactly.
That's what Pogba needs, in my opinion.
Nick, new deal or out of the
Pogba,
door?
I definitely want Pogba to stay so talented. But the problem is that, Lokman, you said that he needs to gather some pressure on his shoulder. He has to take the responsibility. Like, it's not the fact that he doesn't commit the errors at France squad. It's backed up by Rafa Varane, the pace in defense. That's the main thing, which he will have this season. Other than that, whenever Pogba is played, what credit solely on a Solskjaer, that the debacle that Pogba is going to stay, going to leave, Mino Raiola with all the comments, he handled really well. There's no media outburst. He's been playing his football. Other than that, Pogba, he loves United. It's not the fact that he doesn't care about United. He's very, very genuine in amongst the kit men, amongst the kitchen staff, and amongst the other groundsmen. It's very well retaliated. It's very well told about the story about Paul Pogba. He is not what the media makes of him. Mostly he has a bad image, basically, for Mino Raiola. That what Sir Alex Ferguson told, it's best suited for him. Other than that, 400k a week, if United can pay, I don't care. You need to keep. But whom do you replace him with? Like, that talent, like, he deserves another chance for me. And he is one of the leaders, especially if he goes to PSG, he'll win the league and they'll not win the Champions League because they eventually bottle. Too many cooks spoil the broth. You see in the Galacticos era what happened. And if he doesn't see United's intent, like Mino Raiola said, whenever he's spoke, he's been awfully quiet for the last couple of months, which says that they're keeping United as an option. That Pogba wants to assess his options and wants to take a winning project. With Sancho Varane, a potential, his favorite DM kind of a role that he wants his partner to play, coming in with Bruno, with Cavani. If he doesn't deem this as a winning squad or a winning project, then best of luck to Paul Pogba. He can find anything,
totally
Nirvana
agree.
anywhere that wouldn't matter.
Yeah. I totally agree with both of your points, in terms of the talent and how he has, performed for France, and he has struggled here because of the lack of quality. My main issue with him is obviously his entourage, how Raiola and how his family keeps talking about us and try to, just debar the fact that he is, obliged to play for us. He is in a contract with us, and they kept talking about, a move away, a different club, all that stuff. Regardless of anything, that as you said, the quality absolutely world class, top class, cannot be replaced. in my opinion, he should be given a new contract, but as on our terms, not on Pogba's terms. That's my point of view. So, in
Absolutely.
your opinion, like, what's the thing that United should do in terms of just keeping him here, but obviously not damaging the wage structure, because we have faced in past, the likes of Sanchez, and we are still recovering from it.
I think it's very natural with any agent and any player. I think this is something that anybody could say, that if you are wanted in the market, if a player is not wanted in the market, and if a club says we will give you a 30% salary cut, that player will take it because he knows that his heart is there. It's just that he will get some less money because his performances has not been up to that mark. But if a player is wanted by other clubs, and if you've got an agent like Mino Raiola, you will be in a position where Pogba will also think this way, that if I get more money somewhere else, why should I not go and why should I not fight for a better contract at United itself? That's what I feel. So in that case, United will think, okay, because he's world class, because like we all agreed that he cannot be replaced in terms of talent, they might just say, okay, maybe we'll pay whatever he wants. But that
Okay,
is
so
not something. But that is not something that should happen. This is where I agree with Anshuman Bhai, that I don't think so. That should happen if he doesn't take a wage cut, and if he basically disbalances the structure of our wage system, then he can leave, and then we could use that money to bring on other players who are half his value in terms of price, but will give us an output that would play for the badge and for literally more than half the wages. That's what I
exactly, like, I would like to discuss this with you before I move to Nick. That's my main concern is, like, paying and giving a raise is fine, but not to that extent where it damages our structure, and not where someone's try to think that they are bigger than the club. So that's the one issue that I think the the Pogba situation has at this moment. If we can resolve it and move forward, that's amazing. So before I move on to the next topic, Nick, you can come up with the this situation. How much should we pay Pogba and keep him?
I very much agree with you, Dada, that definitely it should happen on our terms, not on Paul Pogba's. But if you see Paul Pogba's possible destinations, Real Madrid, Barcelona out of the picture because of the salary cap. They won't be able to afford him. Juventus, they are in troubles of their own. If they don't, even if they offload Cristiano Ronaldo, still they are in deep waters because they'll need a lot of avenues. They're already paying Aaron Ramsey and Adrian Rabiot 400K a week because of free transfers. They are in deep waters over there as well. That leaves PSG, who has, let me just start counting, Marco Verratti, Jorginho Wijnaldum, who newly signed, Idrissa Gueye, Danilo Pereira, Leandro Paredes, Marquinhos, who wants to place CDMs. So where would Pogba
Don't
essentially
don't
go over
forget
there?
one of our most passionate ones of the past, Herrera.
Under Herrera, even absolutely under Herrera, even who's been playing a right back at PSG.
Yeah,
Like I love Under, but the decision he took, like let's not get over
yeah,
there,
exactly. That's
elongate.
yeah.
Yeah, and Paul Pogba, I think based on that, if like you were talking about deserving a raise, right? What has Paul Pogba done in the last 5 years to command a 400K a week salary? He has, like, probably if you put all his performances, good performances together, it won't accumulate 38 games. Probably, so we can say he's not been good enough for at even one season in his 5 year contract that he signed in 2016. I think the wages he is on, you give him a substantial raise. He's probably on 280K a week. Give him 300, 320, something like that. Guarantee him. Because what I can see is this team is built around Paul Pogba. Solskjaer loves him. And Pogba cannot say anything over Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because he's been mentoring him since his youth coaching days. And I think Pogba will stay. I definitely, or else his agent would have been running his mouth and selling his client all over the internet by now. That gives me assurance. Varane signing, probably Kamavinga signing as well. What Pogba wants, or else we'd gone for Jules Koundé, a younger one. So basically, Pogba, I think, would be vice captain. I think would be the with Bruno would be the vice captain of the team. And I have a gut feeling that he'll choose to say, or else he would have been gone by now. Very honest, he would have been
I
gone.
Agreed.
do, yeah, I do feel in
Agreed.
terms of wages, I think he should be given around David De Gea, even if if he's asking for a raise, that's like the maximum I am willing to give. Like, obviously we are not in charge of the transfer or the wage structure, but 375 in my opinion is like the last I would go with. Because as you mentioned, in the 5 years, we cannot even come up with 38 games where he has made a difference in terms of the quality he possesses.